Ladies and gentlemen, you are not seeing things. Today is my birthday, but maybe I've gotten the biggest birthday gift of them all because we have a man on that's actually going to be playing in our area in almost as quick as a New York minute. Yeah, he's going to stop by here and talk about that. And where my mama's going to be seeing him, yeah, we'll get into that. We're going to talk about, though, most importantly, for me, being a fan of one of the greatest concept albums and arguably the greatest heavy metal concept album of all time. He has been putting the final touches on the final chapter to that trilogy we're going to talk about here over the next 20 or so minutes. That is, of course, Operation Mindcrime. Operation Mindcrime 3, the final chapter, is almost here. The first single is coming out within days. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about those 4 days, as I alluded to. We're going to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jeff, who has certainly got the best perspective. He's got maybe the best seat in the house, playing alongside over 3 years with one of the greatest frontmen ever in heavy metal history. No, you are not seeing things. We are definitely here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And if you thought we couldn't top yesterday's show where we had on this guy, Josie Scott, he only was the original voice of Saliva, we got somebody that I think he's going to do just fine in topping that. But, before we go on even though I know our guest has got only a few minutes time and he's used to doing these from this person and that person, one person did the podcast in their bedroom, I do things a little differently. I'm not going to match Geofftate's vocals, but I'm going to do my best and introduce our guest because in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rock, baby, and start this show off here in style on Sportzwire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one cable sports show. He is the guitarist for the bands Faster Pussycat and the legendary vocalist for the Operation Mindcrime albums and Queensryche. His name is simply but Robertson. My friend, how are we doing?
Dude, that's awesome. That's the best fucking intro I've ever had, man. Can you just follow me around in any room I walk into?
Look, Josie Scott said that yesterday, and I will seriously take you up on that offer.
That's
Boyd,
awesome.
if you're out there, shout out to Boyd Cruz, who got us this opportunity. But yeah, I'll do that. Anything you need, whatever the band needs, I'm good. Listen, my mom's actually seeing you Friday with her new husband and her bandmate, and so yeah, we'll get to that later on. But I know you're obviously
That's
getting
awesome,
ready
man.
out there. I know you're getting ready for sound check, but so I'm going to get to it here. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you certainly, Kieran Robertson, have helped build, Sportzwire Radio, talk to me about what it's like working on Operation Mindcrime 3, the final chapter.
Oh man, I mean, it's such an honor, I was writing these songs for Jeff. I mean, some of these songs that are coming out are, God, over 6 years old now. I was writing with Jeff during the pandemic. Stayed at his house, and we had so many songs. So it's such an honor, to be able to be a part of the legacy. It's mind blowing. I just hope I can do it some sort of justice. I mean, it's never going to be mind crime. Mind crime's mind crime. I just want to continue the legacy as best as we can. And Jeff's fucking done this album sounds incredible. He blew me away.
Listen, I was a kid, and I remember in school I had the cassette. I bought the cassette when they were still a thing. I'm not that old, but it was like maybe 20 years ago. I bought the cassette, and I had the CD, and that. I had never heard anything like Operation Mindcrime. So is there pressure, Operation Mindcrime 2, some people have their opinions on it. I love Operation Mindcrime 2. I bought it when it came out. I bought it the first day, and I thought it was outstanding. But there's Operation Mindcrime, which you alluded to. So is there pressure in knowing what the fans think of Operation Mindcrime 1 and 2? Is there pressure going into this to either, as close as you can to those albums or what?
Dude, 100%, man. I'm ready to get torn apart online, man. I mean, I came to the sort of conclusion quite a while ago now that no matter what I do, no matter what me and Jeff do, the people that are gonna say stuff are gonna say stuff. So all I can do is give my best at this time. All I can do is give my best and what I would like to hear. Ultimately, as a fan, I was brought up in Queensryche. I was, so ultimately as a fan, that's the way I looked at it. But yeah, man, I'm ready for the smoke. I'm proud of the work. So but yeah, there's always pressure to continue the legacy, and like I said, I'm just trying to do the best I can, and no pun intended, try and make it a good album.
No, listen, and I totally get that. I've had on a lot of artists recently. I just had Josie Scott on, and he just put out a new single. He hadn't put out music in like 15 years. And I know with artists, and especially like Jeff. Jeff is again, just to me, one of the greatest heavy metal vocalists of all time. So there's going to be pressure whether you were working on Operation Mindcrime 3 or not. So there's no question that, there's going to be, the challenges and such. But as a guitar player, I'm curious because you obviously are in Faster Pussycat, but now you're doing this. And this album, a lot of people are anticipated, with myself included. The new single's coming out. We'll talk about the tour dates. I'll put that up in a second. But do you get to, as your own guitar player, get to put your spin and your taste on these songs that we'll get a chance to hear very soon?
That's a really good question. I wrote, most of the guitar parts on this album, or guitar parts I wrote, and gave. I had a couple of really good friends, who also did some amazing things. Dario Parenti.
I know that. I know Dario. Yes, I know him very well. Yes.
Great guitar player. He changed a lot. I'm a songwriter. At the end of the day, I play guitar, but I'm a songwriter. So a lot of the guitar parts, some really cool people. Amory Altmaier, he added a lot of cool guitar parts, and so did Dario, James, and John Moyer from Disturbed, my good buddy John.
Oh yeah, of course.
So
yeah, I know.
For me, I can write guitar parts, but having other guitar players come in and go, okay, we're gonna try and maybe make this a bit more progressive, or I just want the album to be, as a guitar player, those Mindcrime guitar parts were so good.
Oh
so,
my God, yeah.
We've really tried to make it so that you can, listen and pick out individual parts. And, I think all of us have been really good at collaborating on, I'll maybe come in with an idea and somebody will go, okay, what if we get that, make that crazier, and Jeff's really good at that too.
No question about that. And if you want to see geofftate's Operation Mindcrime, the final chapter, you can see that right now on tour. They're playing tonight, actually, in Derry, New Hampshire, Hartford, Connecticut tomorrow, Newton, New Jersey on Thursday. And my mom is actually going to be seeing you with her husband and her other bandmate in Red Bank, New Jersey, coming up here, in Tarrytown, New York, the next day. So they are very busy.
Dude,
here.
That's awesome, man. I gotta go say hi, man. Send you a picture.
Because I was telling her that you were coming on because she sings also. And she was like, "Oh wow, you're gonna actually talk about this?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, I was like, I had no idea that she had a ticket. That she actually told me this morning, "I'm going to see the band. I'm going to see them play." And
wow.
She was like, well, what are you going to ask them? I'm like, "Well, obviously, I'm going to talk about Operation Mindcrime. I'm going to talk about obviously the songs in the album." And yeah, I mean, what a small world. And it's my birthday, nevertheless. But I'm curious.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's been, I've gotten too many birthday wishes, but I have to ask you a question because you obviously are also a part of Faster Pussycat. I don't got much time with you, but as a guitar player going out and playing for Jeff, what is it going to be like here on this tour? And when you've toured with Jeff in the past versus when you're with Faster Pussycat, what is the difference? Maybe similarities, if any.
It's a completely different beast, but touring sort of always the same. Everybody's got their own camps and their own way of doing things. I played with Jeff since I'm 27 now. I played with Jeff since I was 18. I only stopped playing with him a few years ago to play with Faster Pussycat. I love both bands. They're both different. the technical aspect of the playing is a bit more intense, obviously with the queensryche stuff, with
Oh
the Jeff
yeah, for
stuff.
sure.
But I mean, Faster Pussycat have some interesting guitar parts too. It's just a different camp, and I love all the guys and each of them, man. I was on the phone with Sam and Chad, and I was just texting Tammy yesterday. So yeah, I'm playing the whiskey with them in December again.
Well, I've talked a lot about the whiskey this year. I had Doug Pinnick at King's X, and they played the whiskey a few times this past summer. And I had on the Great White, so I love talking about the whiskey. But I'm curious when it comes to the Mind Crime. Even the first two albums playing on tour. Is there a song or two that you love most to play? We're going to see you coming up here over the next several days on the tour. Is there a song or two that you, as a guitar player, love to play most on these records?
That's a really good. I've been asked that a bunch, and I feel like it always changes every
I
tour.
know because there's
I'm
so many
like,
songs, and
it's
you're
so
not gonna
many
just give me, I
songs,
don't
man.
believe in love. You're not gonna just give me, spreading the disease.
You,
I mean,
you know what's been great is recently I play the first half of my set with my sunglasses on, mostly just to kind of get a vibe of the crowd. But when I play the Needle Lies, that's the first time I take them off, and I can sort of look people in the eye. And I've seen people, that's been my favorite part of this tour. The Needle Lies, it's such a good,
yeah,
just
that's a
let's
great one.
fucking go, let's
That's a great one.
fucking party. Great
That's a
song,
great
man.
one. Yeah, that's a great one. It's obviously a great one. And I also want to tell everybody go to geofftate.com. Also, Geoff Tate on MC on Instagram. You can check out some of the stuff there with the set and the performance. And I mean, Jeff still is amazing out there. And what do you learn from Jeff as a musician? Obviously, his career, the way he's kept himself in shape as a performer and a musician. What have you learned from Jeff in all these years being with him?
Jeff has taught me so much. I mean, like I said, I was 18 when I first joined Jeff's band. I was a fucking nobody, and then suddenly I'm on tour with this heavy metal legend. He taught me, from basic tour etiquette to how to keep yourself. Longevity. I think is really Jeff's. He still warms up every day. I hear him. He still sings every day. Also, I think the best thing Jeff's taught me is just surrounding yourself with good people. We have that thing on the Jeff tour we always talk about. It's like, they go, we've been doing this so long, we don't really have time to hang around with people we don't want to hang around with. So, being happy every day, building a good team around you, I think that's what's really important when you want to tour for as long as he's been touring.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, you're talking, you're going 40 plus years and he's still
Crazy.
out there performing. And, that's such a great point that you made. I actually, the reason I'm here with you is I have a big following in the wrestling world and I've had the WWE
Dude,
on here.
amazing.
Yeah, and a reason what you said really hit home to me, and I want to ask you this question. Even though you might be younger than many people in your shoes, but you've had so much experience. So I have to ask you, if you had any advice for any up and coming musicians, entertainers, anybody, what advice would you give them?
Um, that's a good question. If you haven't already drank, don't start. Don't do drugs.
That's what Josie said yesterday. I had Josie
Yeah,
Scott live, and he said the same thing. He said, "Listen, don't do
yeah.
drugs." He was going on a whole rant, and I was like, "Wow." I mean, I
It's
actually
just so easy. It's just so easy when you're on tour, when you get into this lifestyle. Like everything is presented to you with no. You rarely get told no, so it's very easy to fucking. So yeah, if you haven't already started drinking, the guys I see that are doing the best are the guys that are, just into their music. Not getting fucked up every night. So I know I definitely had my time. But yeah, I think just sort of staying grounded is a really really important one. Don't believe all the bullshit. I mean, the amount of times I've been told this is the shot, not from Jeff, from other people. We're going to give you the amount of record deals I've had that have never came through. Just don't believe the hype and try and stay as sober as you can. That's what
It's
I'd
funny.
say.
It's funny you said that as we're here with the guitarist for Jeff Tate's Operation Mindcrime. That is Kieran Robertson. Of course, the band is going to be playing tonight. They're also playing throughout the tri-state area. They'll be here in Red Bank, New Jersey, Friday, Tarrytown, New York. They're going to be in Fairfield, a bunch of places. geofftate.com. I have the website here. You can buy a ticket. There's still meet and greets available, VIPs, merchandise. Just get there, buy tickets. I'm telling you, get there. You will not want to miss this. And of course, the band is getting ready to put the final touches on the brand new album. New single is out later this week. It is a busy time. We're honored to have Kieran on. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters here. And if you hit the sub button, like, share, and subscribe to us. But it's funny you said that about record deals, because I had on a lot of musicians the last several months, even though I'm big in the wrestling world. And they said the same thing, having a record deal is not what it was. People think you've got the record deal, you're going to come into millions, and, it's really not out there like that. So that's why
man.
You're saying really hits home to me. And I think that's why we're going to certainly see more of you out there on tour. But I mean, when it comes to the new album, I mean, obviously without spoiling any details, what do you think? Will it sound like the Operation Mindcrime, but with a 2025 spin on it? Everybody looks at 1988. We think about what was going on in the world, right? The war on drugs was a big topic. 2006 Operation Mindcrime 2. The war in Iraq at the time was kind of the thing. And then this year, the world is such a topsy-turvy place. So, as a songwriter, where did you go in terms of, is it today we're writing about, or without giving it away too much, what's your thoughts on some of that?
Yeah, I mean, the Operation Mindcrime album is still so relevant today. People always tell me that, which is totally, to write something that lasts the test of time. Lyric wise, I think I would be unjust to speak on Jeff's behalf, but it's definitely in that universe, I think it's sounding wise. I know I tried to, writing wise, I definitely tried to keep it closer to Operation Mindcrime 1 than anything else Jeff is. So from my perspective, as the musical wise, I tried to go back to that universe of Operation Mindcrime, because that's a dark album, that's an angry album. I wanted to make a dark, dystopian, just heavy album. It's not a happy album. So
no,
I was
it shouldn't be. I mean, obviously, you think about heavy metal concept albums. I mean, to me, it's kind of the concept album. Obviously, people think about
incredible.
Dark Side of the Moon, but for heavy metal, to me, Operation Mindcrime was that, and I don't think it should be a happy place, because the first album wasn't that. And I think that's why it stood the test of time. I know you got a few more minutes, and I appreciate time, but I got to ask you: is there any goals you have coming up with this album, or even the tour? Is there goals that you have personally and such?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been really excited for this album to come out for a very long time. I wrote, like I said, I wrote a lot of these songs 6 years ago, so I've been sitting on these at different levels of completion for 6 years. Going, oh my fucking god, people are gonna lose their mind when they hear this, and it's just life gets in the way and tours get in the way and stuff. So to eventually have this coming out is just such an honor. I'm just so proud to, in my career, to have been able to say, fuck, I wrote an album with a heavy metal legend. I wrote an album with Jeff, and people are gonna like it. Some people aren't gonna like it. I did my part, man. I'm just a guy out here trying to play guitar, man. So
no, I think a lot of people are gonna like it, because I think it's the right time. I think there should be closure. I think there should be finality. I think that people want to see this. I think the time is right. I think Operation Mindcrime 2, people can say what they want, but I think it's the right time. It's the perfect time. I know you're a busy man, but I got something for you. I know you do these all the time, and I like to give things to people, because that's just how I do things. And, I really want to show my screen, because you are now the newest member of the Sportzwire Radio Hall, because I feel like this album's going to be so big. This album's going to be so big. I have a feeling about it. I'm excited about it. My mom is really excited to see you and the band play, and I think it's going to be a big moment, and I wanted to give you this, and I will give Boyd the physical copy when we're off the air, and it's your
dude,
day.
that's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. And I'd love to talk to you more as well about wrestling, man. I've just been fucking. I watched as a kid, and I've just been sort of trying to re-get into
Yeah, well,
like the
you
Netflix
know
stuff.
what? Yeah, I've had on probably like 1,000 wrestlers. I mean, the reason that
Wow.
I've had on the WWE, I've had even the backyard wrestlers. I mean, I'm that
Have you
known.
heard of there's a Scottish wrestler, Scottish League of Wrestling called, I think it's
Yes, I have
ICW?
heard of it. Yes, I've
Yeah,
actually had
man.
on a guy, Davey Blaze, who's been on my
No
platform.
way.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
Davey
killer.
Blaze is an interesting guy. I've had him on multiple times. Davey Blaze, he likes me, by the way. He does. Yes, what a
Okay,
small
man,
world.
that's
I know.
awesome. There's
I
a
actually
wrestler
know.
called Grado as
I know
well, I think.
Grado. Yes, I know him
Yeah.
very well. Yes, I know RPD, who's been involved with Grado. Yes, what a
Wow,
small
that's
world. Yeah,
awesome.
I
Small
had
world,
definitely
brother.
a very small world. I know you got to run, but before I let you go, I ask a couple quick things. So you also produce. So do you get to, as a guitar player, but also from the producer end, get a chance to use that in the studio when it comes to working on this record? Before I let you go.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, when I present a song to Jeff, or really any artist I work for, what I normally do is I have my own studio, so I give them a completed song. I give the drums, the synths, the vocals, and 9 times out of 10, Jeff will completely wipe the vocal melody, which I want him to do as well. Because he's Jeff fucking Tate, so
Yeah,
whatever
I
he's gonna
know.
do is way
Yeah,
better than my vocal melody. But I do a lot of there's a lot of synthesizers in the album. Not People are going to freak out in the background, they're not fun. But that's all me. I programmed all the drums, which were then redone by better people. But I do a lot of producing, and just I like to present a whole song. I can't just go, here's a guitar riff. That's not the way
right.
I write. So and then the songs again will get chopped up and changed, and sometimes I'll hear a song and Jeff will have, and then halfway through it'll be a portion of my song from another song. So
Sure.
we're really good at sort of collaborating like that. But yeah, I do everything, man.
But that's really cool. Obviously, listen, I mean, he is Geoff Tate, and this is a man that has had, quite a career, sold millions, and we're going to be seeing you guys out there shortly. And before we go, I want to put it up here on the screen. You can go to geofftate.com for more, for buy a ticket, support the show, support Kieran, support Jeff and the band. And the band will also have new music coming out early next year, I believe, and also the first single comes out later this week. You want to see them? They'll be playing tonight, literally in a beautiful day here in the Northeast, in Derry, New Hampshire, Hartford, Connecticut tomorrow, Newton, New Jersey Thursday, Red Bank on Friday with my mom, and everyone else is going to be going. It's going to be a big crowd. Red Bank it's a big place. Symphony X just played there. King's X before that. It's a great venue. Tarrytown on Saturday, Sunday in Fairfield. I mean, they're all over the place. Back here in Long Island, back on the of the upstate. Just go out, and there's plenty of tour dates near you. Go out and check it out. I know you got to run because you're getting ready for sound check. So let me give you the floor. If you have any closing thoughts, anything you want to say here before we let you go back out there, and I just so grateful you even spent a few minutes with us today.
Dude, no, this was a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time, and that's awesome, man. I'm so stoked with the certificate of achievement, man. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to getting
Hall of
that. That'll
Famer.
go.
Yeah, you know what? I figured that Jeff should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I still don't know why he's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Me
Fame.
neither, man.
It's a joke. I mean, listen, I don't even want to get into it. Iron Man's not even in the Hall of Fame.
That's crazy.
Let me put you in the Hall of Fame, and maybe that'll, strike up a conversation. Or maybe not. But also, you can follow Kieran on Instagram. Check him out on Facebook. Geoff Tate's on Instagram, Facebook, geofftate.com. New single coming out soon. Tour dates are coming to a city near you. My friend, thank you so much for all that you do for us. Can't wait to hear the new album. Definitely play extra louder for my mom so she can come back and say how great of it. She can say you're better than Chris Farmo. I'm sure she will coming up after Friday's show. And we'll all
Yes,
probably
sir.
yeah. But thank you so
Thank you,
much.
brother.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
That is Kieran Robertson. He is the guitarist for Geoff Tate. He will be out there coming up to a city near you. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally where all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, we'll be back here tomorrow with Mark Edwards. Mark Edwards from the band Overlord. So check us out there. Like, share, and subscribe. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On another one. Collaboration to the Sportswire Radio with all music and wrestling matters. One more time, geofftate.com. Buy a ticket. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Have a great night.